Hey folks, it's Mad Rabbit back in Medieval Minecraft Creations. If you remember last episode, we were working on these things, kind of a little outpost sort of thing. And now we're moving on to some of the stuff I've been working on, like I was mentioning at the beginning of the last episode, about making a mountain range and preparing for basically making a very large dwarven kind of fortress, citadel kind of thing. Underground cavern. It's going to be a kind of a departure from the stuff I'm normally doing in my medieval builds. So if you're new to the channel, you might want to watch some of the old ones and then just kind of get caught up to speed on things in the tour series and whatnot. And I'm pretty good about keeping everything in playlists. But here, the mountain range is not complete yet. Like I said, I have quite a bit of work yet still to do on it. But right here, we're going to build like kind of a front facade going into the mountains, and underneath is where we're going to be building most of our stuff. I think the first project is going to be doing a bridge system, going to that island and then maybe cutting like at a 90-degree angle over to the shore over there. So that'll go, kind of boink boink, boink right over here. And this will be where the front entrance is. I'm going to have to do some landscaping work here. A lot of other work. I'm not really happy with the way things look on the front right now. So I might make it all stone. I'm not sure I like some of the grass look. And I'm going to have to change some of that out. And to see up in the upper levels here, we still got some of the sand because I was doing a lot of work still, dropping more parts down on this. And the only problem is, as I was showing you last time about how I was doing it, you get some really deep. Now this looks okay from when you're flying by, but it's not going to look good. It's not going to look good for when you're inside this dwarven thing and you have holes punching through the roof. So I might have to go back in and maybe just cover some of these areas up with stone. These little crevices here and there. Yeah, because there's quite a few of those types of things around. I'd probably just have to do something what I do here, like kind of raise it up a little bit. It won't be going too much upwards though. So a lot of this stuff is going to be changed into stone, and then I have to drop some more. I sort of explained it in one of the comments in my last episode. I can't unfortunately do a tutorial on how to do what I do these mountains. I mean, I can verbally tell you how, because unfortunately, Fraps, which is the program I use to record, won't work in that. I mean, I could try and record it with that other program I use for Dwarf Fortress, which is a screen capture program, but it's not very good at doing things very graphically, so it would not come out well at all. I know there's probably MCEdit related tutorials out there on how to make them. You can pretty much guess based upon how I was showing you last episode how I was doing them, just making small clumps and dropping them, and you can actually make a very large block in MCEdit of stone, or and then just drop stuff all over the place and break stuff up. If you do, like when you're all done, when you get something that looks nice, like these look like natural mountains, then you just basically make a big layer, like maybe one, maybe two thick. You could actually do two thick of sand, kind of like above your mountain range. Then you knock it down, and all the sand falls. Of course, that slows your computer down. Sometimes it has issues, like it won't fall in some areas. So you do have to do these sorts of things in small chunks if you're making your own mountain range. Then what you do is what you'll get is the effect like this here, like just a piece of sand on everything on the tops of each thing. And so then you go in with the brush tool in MCEdit and you do like a replacement. And basically what you do, it will either replace it, like in the lower parts I would replace it with grass, and in the upper parts I replace it with snow blocks. Now it would probably look a little better in some areas to randomize it, and I haven't done that yet because there's such a huge area, and I'm obviously not done yet. So unfortunately, And barring someone, you know, hitting the lottery here, I'm not going to be able to buy Camtasia, which would allow me to probably record high definition and record desktop, you know, applications. Really, any game wouldn't be limited then, because that's like a very expensive program. I can't afford that right now. So I do apologize. I really want to do stuff like this, like make tutorials and whatnot. So in the future, I will probably do things like that when I do finally am able to afford it. But like I said, I'm out of work right now, so that's not going to happen anytime soon. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to pause, and I think we'll just start in on I'm going to do some more landscaping work here on the front. I really just want like kind of this area to look the way I want it to look finally. The rest of the mountain range I'm going to work on some other time, because really frankly I'm very burned out on making the mountains, and I was pushing trying to get this stuff done so that I can give you guys some more episodes, because I know there's been a lack of episodes for this particular series lately, so I apologize for that, but there will be more, and this is going to be a very large project to do all these things that I'm going to be doing. Today it's going to be a short one, I think. We're going to do the bridge, but it's probably going to be multiple parts. What we'll probably do is experiment for the first section of the bridge on designs we like. And I'm going to probably go and look at some other people's videos and pictures on the internet. Well, I have seen some builds where they've done things like huge dwarven cities and bridges, and I want to sort of experiment with things, because really some of my bridges in the times past, I don't know, sometimes I like them, sometimes I don't. And when you have large spans like this, I don't know, sometimes it doesn't quite come out the way I want it to. So I am going to probably pause here. The next segment might not even be until tomorrow or the next day. So from my perspective, it might be a whole new day. But from your perspective, it'll only be a couple minutes. And let's pause. Okay, and we're back. Basically doing the bridge. I did a bridge and a small tower, which I will show at the end. Sort of a little bonus feature. Mainly because I didn't really want to break up into 2 episodes. So this one went a little longer than I had hoped for anyway. But as I usually do, I kind of speed up the footage so at least you guys get to see it all. Really, you probably could recreate this if you really wanted to. Going step by step through a tutorial fashion of something like this really isn't necessary. I try and use some of the natural landscape that I was creating to be sort of supports at times, not always. And see here the stairway going down the ramp, but unfortunately I rebuild this, so if you are following along, this is to be probably the one section I would not do yet. But it actually comes out pretty decently, considering all the bridges I've done in the past were probably not so good. But I'm only doing just this beginning section here up until this little island, and most likely I will do the other parts of the bridge probably off the air between now and next episode, I assume, because basically it's going to be sort of using the same design elements anyway. There's no point in really having a second episode of this. So just so you know. But yeah, I do a couple support pillars on either end. I know some people would probably say you should probably do multiple ones in the middle also, but I don't really think that's necessary. But you'll see. It turns out pretty good. Trying to build underwater is a big pain in the butt too. Anyway. Oh yeah, I mismeasured here. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, just sort of using cobble to garnish things a little bit. And I wanted to make the bridge look a little thicker. You didn't want it to be too thin, so I actually did a layer of cobble underneath. And the road itself will be cobble. I'm not going to be using cobble too much in this design of a lot of this dwarven stuff, because I think mainly it's more like going to be more of a garnishment. and we're going to probably stick with a lot of stone, just raw stone, and most likely probably some of this stone brick stuff. So that's probably what most of the stuff in this dwarven thing is going to be built out of. And I wanted to change things up a little bit with some stairs, maybe do a little different design, looking like things are carved out. And yeah, probably some of these smooth blocks too. Oh yeah, and I did another support at the beginning, just mainly because it looked a little flimsy right where the ramp was. I figured, well, I'm gonna have a lot of things lit up on here too, which you'll see in a moment here. So I'm sort of lighting things up. Um, this doesn't work either. Hold on. I end up changing this. Yeah, make it just 5 and I go around. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of use some of that a lot. Also the roadway here, as you see, probably you can watch last episode where I did the road stuff. That's sort of the same sort of design, just kind of randomizing things. Then going back in and adding in the green stuff for, you know, the whatnot, the various slime or whatever you want to call it, which is probably good to do around the water level. And that name's not set in stone yet. I might change the name on that. I just made up a name. Looked pretty good. Then I decided, well, let's make a little bit of a design on the road also. That would be good. And then I went back and did a tower here. Mainly because I want a few towers along the way. Kind of overlooking the bridge and overlooking different areas. In the mountain range, we're going to have a lot of towers. I might just make up one generic design for the mountain ones. But right here, I just sort of wing it. I'm just sort of making up one. This isn't got probably not going to be the design I use, but I try to build things into the rock. So you'll see some areas where I'm also using heavy on the cracked stone. Also gives it a little more flavor to it. But the dwarven stuff's going to be more hexagonal shaped, it's roundish like this. So, and also the levels in most of these dwarven things are going to be very short. When you actually have rooms and garnishing it like this, I've done this before. Garnishing things with cobble, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, also leaving some of the natural stone around it also is probably pretty good. And the only problem with this design was I didn't actually make the sides an odd number, and I think that's probably what I should have done, but it worked okay. And kind of making like a small little secret entrance to the side of it, and a roadway going out to the road. Sort of using the same elements I've used before. That's really about it. I mean, you know, as far as design goes. And that didn't work out too well either. The switch goes, I might have to find a different way to do the switch. Then I did a level here. And actually I'm trying to make flooring out of slabs nowadays, because at least you can see a little bit of the block above and below. So that's kind of cool. And then I do another one here. Not gonna do stairs in this one. I might in some of the other ones I do, but they'll probably be around the same size and shape, the ones I do in the mountains. And it's really about it as far as design goes. Yeah, I made a little like a chimney here, but on retrospect, I'm not sure I like it, and you'll see in a minute. But I mean, that's sort of an optional thing. You could just maybe build a smaller tower on the inside, just kind of spire, or have like a roof on it, or something, support beams. But I just sort of made like a little chute there. But that's really about, you know. I'm just garnishing it a little bit of cobble again, and that's pretty much the design. So thank you guys for watching. I think in the next one I'll have finished the other segment of the bridge, and this little island here that you just we just missed it. The island there, I will have something built like a tower. That'll be like a transition area. So that'll be it. See you guys next time. Remember to hit that like button on the way out, and I will see you soon. Adios.